Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. My name's Heliax, and, well, this is post-commentary. I recorded everything. I had amazing live commentary, probably the best I've ever done. You guys would have been so impressed. But when I finished recording, I realized that my mic was off. So I didn't catch any of it. So now we are post-recording, or post-commentating. So this is going to be something that I've done once before, I think, in the Pathfinder playthrough. But it's not something I'm used to. And, well, you can already tell that I'm not really talking about what's happening on the screen right now. At the moment, we are going to the Undercity to try to help Dario, I think his name was, with the Cornet's shell, or conch, or Cornet's conch, whatever, the conch shell. And we're going to try and find the mural in Andra's temple. Now, we've got some fighting to do in this episode. Spoilers. But, yeah, I'll do my best to commentate it, how it happened, so, yeah, must be a little different. I think right now, I think I was sipping on some coffee, telling you guys how good the coffee was that I made, even though I made it late at night, and all that stuff, and asked how you guys were doing. Hope you guys are doing well. But yeah, we're heading down here, and we'll see how it goes. So I do apologize once more if the post-commentary isn't quite as good as the regular quality. I thought about just completely re-recording it, but I think I did pretty well in the fights that happened, and you know, I didn't want to re-record it. I thought I did well, so hopefully you guys are okay with that. It will mean that once again the Pillars of Eternity episode is coming out late today, but you know, what can you do? Hello, Gwynfit. What was her name? Gwynfir. Alright, so now we're in the temple. We've gone quiet. So my main concern was whether or not I could take these creatures on, because they were a level higher than us, or two. But now they're only a level because we, you know, leveled up. And we begin our first fight here from stealth, and my main strategy throughout the fights in this episode is to use, I might do it right now, is to use the tentacles to sort of gather up the enemies, because we have Andra's whip, which kind of like moves them away from us, and then we have well, you'll see, yeah, we have Iloth's tentacles, which when they hit, they immobilize creatures, and then once they get immobilized or stuck on a deer,
isn't doing the job.
And then we can use Iloth's, Klesia's, and Takehu's AoE damage to just sort of explode the enemies. And it seems to work pretty well. There's a couple of times where it's not as effective, but we'll get there when we get there. Klesia doing her buffs, and there's their tentacles. Aren't they beautiful? We got a couple of Skulldrakks here. I wonder if I'll learn anything from rewatching my fights. I don't typically rewatch the videos. I know that's maybe not like the best thing for a YouTuber to do, but with the length of the videos I make and the amount of videos I make, you know, that's, you know, doubles the amount of time I need to spend working on this stuff. And as I've stated in the past, I'm a little bit low on time these days, so, but even when I had time, I didn't really enjoy rewatching it. I don't necessarily mind my voice, but I don't necessarily love listening to my voice, which I realize is not necessarily a glowing endorsement of myself, but you know. So yeah, this is the main strategy I was using here. The tentacles, either to block off one lane of the enemies, or to sort of halt them in their tracks in a group, and then we launch our AoE attacks. So we've got Fireball coming in, we've got Vile Thorns coming in, And we learned a lot about Takehu's spells. He's actually really, really good. I like him. And obviously there we messed up. I'm not used to the range of that spell. That Shining Beacon spell that Klessia has. It's pretty close range, so it makes her move into dangerous situations. But man, when it hits like that, it is an amazing spell. Look at all that damage it does. That's crazy.
Something I can do.
I love it. And it's a very Mogren spell. Got Aloth with the rogue abilities, which they do pretty decent damage. And there we see Andra's whip knocking the Skuldrak back, which is useful, especially if we can learn to place it so that we're pushing it into the tentacles, the other tentacles, so that it gets immobilized or whatever. I think that would be really useful. And there we see the dangers of the Skuldrak. They do have that little AoE attack. They didn't do a ton of damage though, and we managed to get out of danger with her, and she just fires at that Skuldrak with her beautiful rifle. I can't wait until we get a good rifle. Alright, we're gonna use another fireball here, make sure we don't hit a deer in the process. And then we got boiling spray here, which yeah, right here I realized that it's only a faux AoE, so that's actually really good for a backline character like him. He can just stand in the back line and cast that. And I'm finding his abilities to be extremely good in fights, because a lot of them are faux AoE, which is really nice. Alright, killed a Skuldrak and a bat there with that fireball, which is fantastic. Another bat down with a deer. This Skuldrak's weak already. That spell does push people back, which, you know, isn't always ideal, but the fact that I can cast it from the back line makes it such a useful ability. Now the tentacles, they don't last very long. Aloth's tentacles. The Andra whip, I think that lasts for until the combat ends or it gets destroyed, which is nice. But yeah, I like how it's taking aggro like that. It's really good. It sort of frees up Adir to just focus on one area of the fight.
Very well.
And the Skuldrak should be going down with Jyoti's hit here. There we go. And then we'll move down here.
Yes, Captain.
And this Skuldrak's not long for this world.
How may I help? Love, can't whack him any harder. Hey.
But yeah, this is really like, we haven't done a lot of fighting in this playthrough. So I'm still kind of like getting used to being able to use all my spells every encounter. It's actually kind of crazy. Like, I feel like I'm cheating compared to how it was in the previous game or in Pathfinder. But I assume that the game's balanced around that fact, which is fine.
Yes.
And this Skuldrak's about to be dead? Yeah. Klessia with the kill.
Yes. Indeed.
Alright, we're gonna loot some Skuldrak ears and some bat wings. Good stuff. Now it's time to explore this temple. It's an interesting thing. It's not like the first game that's done like an Undercity sort of thing. I mean, it's actually not even that uncommon of a thing, right? Immediately my mind is always drawn back to like Knights of the Republic 1 with the Undercity of Terrace. Especially with the story of the Gullet, how, you know, the Mataru? No, the Mataru are the good one. The Raparu, I think, are like sort of like outcasts almost, or lower class. So they live in the lower kind of shitty part of the town. What do we find here? Anything good? Some Thief's Putty. Thief's Putty and some lockpicks. But yeah, it always reminds me of something like that, or obviously the fact that it's called the Undercity always reminds me of World of Warcraft as well. Especially we've got a lot of undead here. Obviously they're not like a civilization, but... Alright, so here we got a Dargle and a big bloaty boy. So we're going to try the same strategy that we learned in the previous fight, using Andra's whip as sort of like a first line of defense while everybody else sets up. We're moving Aloth up here, and he's going to be casting tentacles right there. See, now this way is a little bit different because they're all coming at us from one direction, whereas before we had two directions to defend. So now we're using the tentacles as more of a support for Adir. And if you see in the right side there, we do have a Wraith on the enemy's team, and that's going to become important soon.
Yes. I shall.
And Classy is just going to take a shot. 24 damage is pretty decent for, you know, one shot. We got Strong there, and there comes the Dargle. And now we have, see, the Wraith coming up, and it just kidnaps our boy Adir, takes him away from us. But luckily we have the tentacles here as a temporary sort of tank for us. Is my voice too loud? I can't actually say. It looks like it's okay. I've been having not difficulties with my mic, but just like oddities. Like I feel like the settings on it have like randomly changed. I don't remember changing them, and then it got unplugged on accident when I got my new keyboard. And ever since then, it just feels a little different than it did before. So now I have a different volume setting on it, and just making sure it's all right. But yeah, Adir, I just hobbled the Wraith and decided to get the hell out of there because I didn't want him to 1v1 a Wraith. I think he could have done it.
May I help?
But we need him back here in case the tentacles fail, which is possible. And here we got Aloth. He's gonna go cast a fireball at these two. And then we try this spell for the first time. Luckily we do check to see if it's a faux AoE. It is not. It affects everybody. However, what we don't check is its range, right? Or like it's actually, no, it looks like I should have been fine based off the the telegraph. But you'll see in a second, I won't be fine. Yeah, somehow it hits Klessia, even though like the telegraph, she was clearly behind it. So that's a little frustrating. But it's a really good spell. Look at that. It stuns everything in its way and does massive damage. I tried to use that a few more times, and well, we'll see whether or not I was very successful with it or not. A little bit of healing here. And we got these guys who can barely walk. I mean, it must be a tough life for them. I don't even know what kind of creatures they really are. I guess they're like just zombies sort of creatures that maybe because they died in water, they're all bloated and stuff. But we use Chill Fog here, and we're going to use another Fireball. Chill Fog makes them blinded, which makes them flanked. And having that right before we do a Fireball, I think really, really helped sort of our damage there. Classy was stunned, so she doesn't get to go. And then, so are the Andra's Whip. And our tentacles are disappearing here. But they do kill the Dargle with their last strike, which is really good, really useful. The Wraith comes flying back in, full of rage after we tricked it and got away.
Yes.
Alright, so Klessia, what do we do? Do we do Shining Beacon here? No, we do Warding Seal. So we try and slow them down as they move forward with it. She's gonna go after Adir, because why not? Who wouldn't go after Adir? The beautiful man. He's gonna hobble her again and then move away, but she gets a disengage attack on him. And then he's coming up right into where I need him to be. Right into my web. This guy spits some spit at me. And then there's a fourth one. They just keep coming. They don't stop.
At your service.
They're still in Chill Fog, so they get blinded and flanked again, which is great. And we're gonna use another Chill Fog. And Aloth, I'm gonna use the Rolling Flame.
Happy to oblige.
Trying to decide what to do with Jyoti here. I think we just do a little bit of healing. And I'm gonna have her move up, get ready to support Adir. Andra's Whip has nothing to do. This rot gas is moving up. And then we got Warding Seal coming in. Does some really good damage on them.
Oh, indeed.
And then she's gonna fire at him. Now we got Rolling... Oh no, first we have that.
What say?
And then we have Rolling Flame coming in a second. But first we're gonna cast Blizzard as well. As I said, we just learned that Takehu has so much AoE. It's amazing. Then we do really good with that spell.
How may I help?
Knock a couple of them prone. And then we start using our magic missile here. Actually killed one of them, which is fantastic. Shouty, we're gonna put down a consecrated ground, which acts a little differently than it did in the first game, I find out. She kind of puts it down there and it stays there. It doesn't follow her around. Alright, so we have one rock ghast who's almost dead here.
What do you need? Leave it to me.
Alright, you're gonna start attacking him, but you miss. Oh dear, no. He's gonna come in and spit. Alright, he's gonna try and explode, which he does, but damages his own people, which is great. I start just kind of attacking the Wraith here, as I feel like we're okay with the Rotten Pestilence people. Nice Graze attack there. And then we're gonna use Shining Beacon here to try and finish off the Roddy boys. But again, I underestimate the range, short range of it, and I almost make a terrible mistake getting Klesia hit like that, because she could have broken her concentration, but luckily she did not. Jyoti keeps attacking the Wraith, and Shining Beacon starts destroying the rot gas.
Yes? That's not very helpful.
Yes.
Alright, the Wraith's almost dead at this point, and so are the rot guests. Or at least one of them. Alright. One's dead. And we got Andra's Whip. Can't hit the Blight or the Pestilent people, whatever they're called. One's dead, though, from the A or the dot. Damage over time. And this guy's looking pretty strong still, but now it's 5-on-1. And he doesn't really stand a chance against us, with all the debuffs he's got on him.
Yes, Captain. For my captain. Yes?
For my captain.
Yeah. Something I can do?
There sure is. You can kill this guy. And we're gonna do big old killing blow. 65 damage. Incredible. Another victory for us. We're gonna pick up their flesh, and for some reason this thing can't be looted. I don't know.
Something I can do.
I feel like that's not the first time that's happened in this game, or maybe the previous game. But no, I was pretty bummed that I couldn't get it, even though it was probably just like some essence or something. Did I miss getting that thing down there? The engraving honors the life of a hero of old. And as we walk around, we keep getting sickened from all the corpses. Huh. I did forget to pick it up. Interesting. I don't forget this thing, though. That was probably like the greatest sword of greatness. So at this point, we've explored about half of this map. And we look in there and say, nope, we don't want to go down there. And we're just looking around up here, seeing if there's anything neat here. We find another little passage here. And just tons and tons of bodies. It makes me wonder, like, how many people are they sending down here? Like, I guess this bodies could have been left over from when this city fell, and had to build over top of it. But, man, they've been rotting for a long time, I think, then, considering how extensive the upper city is. But here we find a nice little camp, and
Stop! What finger, though. Put me down!
The sword twists and turns in your hand, trying in vain to wriggle out of your grasp. The word Modweir is etched and gilded at the base of the blade. Ah, it speaks. How are you talking? Speak to me like that again and I'll have you reforged into a chamber pot. So yeah, we run into this talking sword.
How are you talking?
It mimics your voice in a mocking, sing-song manner.
I like this sword. Can we keep it?
No.
Keep your filthy paws off me.
Hey, we should give it to Aloth so Isilmir can have a new friend.
Something new for Isilmir always ends with someone losing an eye.
He scowls at
I
Adir.
don't share.
The sword says primly. Modweir huffs in irritation and turns over in your hand.
Now, if you don't mind, I'm waiting for someone very important who is definitely coming back any day now, and you won't want to be here when she does.
The master animancer responsible for your condition, I presume. Who are you waiting for?
No, that would be a man known across Aora as the Great Wizard. None of your fucking business.
Rude.
Have you heard of him? I'm waiting for my owner, obviously.
I went with option one.
Really a wonder you've managed to survive to the ripe old age of whatever you are, being this stupid.
Wow. A belligerent sword. Fascinating. Remind me which of us is just sitting in a pile of garbage. No wonder she threw you away. I think I go with number 3. I do. No wonder she just threw you away.
Well, there's no need to be mean.
Yep. Modweir grows cold. Frost creeps up the blade, yet the hilt remains oddly warm, almost
But
inviting.
my owner, she was really great. I mean, is really great. Her calluses felt so good on my grip. Oh, I can do things with a sword you wouldn't believe.
Then why'd she leave you behind? You can stop there, thank you. We went with 1.
You don't know her like I do. She'll come back. You'll see. We're destined to be together. Nothing will stand between us. Actually, even though you're clearly little more than a ham-handed half-wit, maybe you can do something for me. I'll let you handle me, but only under one condition. You have to help me find my owner. Okay?
It presses itself into your palm, slowly warming to your touch. We go with number 2. We'll see. I'm not in the business of making promises. I think I debate this a little bit with myself a little
until
bit.
you find my owner. You got that?
You have the sword, testing its weight. It's a finely wrought weapon, though it has seen better days. All it needs is a bit of polishing. You scabbard it and continue on your way. Alright, so we find ourselves a magical sword, and here I'm looking to see if we can use it. And as far as I could tell, I don't have anybody who is proficient with a sword. Adir is good with sabers, but I don't believe that counts as a sword. But it is a really cool sword. I really liked its dialogue. In terms of like the talking sword trope goes. I enjoyed it quite a bit, that little opening bit. It had, mainly I enjoyed the descriptions that went with her dialogue. They had a sort of personality, the way like it can like sort of like not form to your hand, but kind of like push itself against your hand, like it wants you to hold it kind of thing. I really like that sort of description. It was really neat. And I do plan on using it as soon as I can find somebody who is good with a blade, a sword, or until we make Adir. We might just give it to Adir anyway. I don't know the penalties for using a sword or a weapon you're not proficient with. I don't know how severe they are. But it's a really cool sword. And it's a soulbound sword, which I thought in Pillars of Eternity 1 were some of the coolest things in that game. For me personally, I love soulbound weapons. I love how if you use them to do what they're meant to be used for, they grow and you learn more about their story and everything. I really loved that concept.
What do you need? Good thinking.
So it's cool to see that it's back in this game, and it's happening relatively early. I mean,
What's that?
I think we're pretty early in the game still, considering we've barely done anything, it feels like. But here we got a couple of cave grubs. And my thought here is that I'm gonna go and use this super cool move I learned about to just wipe them all out. And as soon as I press that button, I realize they're probably gonna move away from me. Or move out of that area. So I moved Jyoti there, trying to tempt them to come that way, but as you can see, it doesn't necessarily work. Although that one does come at Takehu. This one comes over and just whacks a deer, knocks him on the ground.
Yes?
So Aloth here, I think I'm going to use the tentacles to try and block, or at least distract them on this side. And there are a couple of unknown enemies over there, which are revealed to be Earth Blights, which is unfortunate. So we just decimate that cave grubbling with that move. And then we have our tentacles in place. We're gonna put a warding seal down here. So I don't know if I just saw, I kind of like zoned out a bit. Sorry about that. It's post commentary is a whole different thing. Trying to keep focus watching this video. But I didn't know if I noticed, but those are cave grubbling caves up in the top there, and I was so worried that they were going to spawn more cave grubblings, but it doesn't seem like they did. And I wonder if what their purpose is. I don't know if maybe killing those would enrage the cave grubblings, or maybe they would demoralize them or something. I don't think I find out, or if I do, I didn't notice. But yeah, we're just going with some AoEs, trying to whittle them down quickly. That was a really good fireball against the blight there.
It makes no difference.
Something I can do?
We gotta get rid of one of these cave grubs. They seem to have some sort of ability that if they like, knock you down, they can like leech you or something. I don't discover or look for what that move actually does, the sort of leeching ability they have. What I do know is they hit really hard. Like that was 57 damage to Jyoti there. So here I think I use Blizzard. Just trying to blast them down quickly.
Oh?
And then I'm probably gonna use, what am I gonna use here? Okay, so I'm going for just trying to end this cave grub. And I think what's about to happen right here. Yeah, I wasn't expecting this at all. Kind of like burrowed under the ground, it looks like. But I go over to try and save a deer. I hit him with a big 46 plus 12 blinding effect. Blizzard doesn't really do a whole lot, and there's only one person there. Another 11 from the shot there, and then the necrotic lance decimates it. It's gone. But at the same time, my tentacles are disappearing. Their time is done, and we still have enemies coming in, including a greater Earth Blight. I think it's 2 greater Earth Blights, which is problematic. They're not weak. I'm gonna use Andra's whip to try and help fend off the blights while we deal with the grubs. And I've got a fireball coming in to hopefully do some good damage against the blights. Jyoti does 23 damage against that blight, which is actually really good. This guy's gonna spit, and here comes a fireball. 52 damage in the back and 25 in the front. A deer is gonna lock down the cave grubs down here. And Jyoti, or not Jyoti, Klesia, she's gonna try and use that to do some real damage against them, which it doesn't do great. In fact, it misses one of the cave blights, which is not great, or the earth blights. And it's just burning stone now, so it's not really doing that much damage, which makes sense. I mean, I would probably need a lot hotter flame to do damage against stone. So here I'm trying to find a good position for Chill Fog to hit everything. And I don't think I hit the bottom cave grubbling with it, which is not great. At this point I'm kind of recognizing that the earth blights might be the bigger problem. So I think I start focusing more on fending them off, or at least killing one of them.
May I help?
Or not. 26 damage to prone Deadfire. It has, I guess it does this like kind of like rock throw move here.
Something I can do?
Yeah, leech grip.
It makes no difference.
I don't know. You would think it would like maybe heal the grub back up, like it's leeching health, but it doesn't seem like it is. I misclicked there. I was very unhappy about that. But then I try and put a ward down there.
This does not work.
And Takehu I move to safety here as we get ready to cast another blizzard.
What can I do you for?
And Ajati, I think I'm gonna use that, yeah. Some vile thorns.
That's not very helpful.
No, it's not very helpful. Big hit on Jati. Yeah, the earth blights hit like a truck, which is bad news. So at this point, I'm thinking I need to get rid of this grub so I can have a deer focusing on the blight. And that was actually some decent damage with the blizzard. And Andra's whip is keeping them at bay a little bit.
Yes.
So the cave grub is dead. I do a heal here.
What say?
And at this point, I'm also getting low on spells. And I try and do a Force of Anguish on this guy, but it doesn't work, or something happens. But hitting them also damages me back, which is not great. Alright, I'm hoping to get rid of that Earth Blight pretty quickly. And I think this is the moment I realize that a deer cannot hurt the blights, which sucks. Yeah, Andra's whip there is basically dead. And Joti takes a lot of damage. I use Second Wind to heal her. Oh no, I use Holy Radiance to heal up.
Yes.
And I use Ray of Fire on the Greater Earth Blight.
Speak your mind.
I'm gonna put down another whip, I think, to try and help defend our flank here. Or maybe I use Dancing Bolts. I think I use Andra's whip. I see that and I think, how's lightning gonna hurt Earth? That's not how the rock, paper, scissors mechanic works.
Aye.
I was thinking Pokemon rules.
How may I help?
And just like, I guess, real life rules. I guess in real life, rock doesn't have feeling, so it can't be hurt. As it's not an intelligent... It's not a living creature, let alone intelligent. It's not a creature. What am I talking about? But yeah, that blight went after Takehu, which isn't great. He's not a beefy guy, despite him looking like a beefy guy. But we knocked that guy back, so Takehu's going to be able to hopefully get away. We summoned the tentacles after we had re-empowered Aloth.
Aye.
Alright, I'm gonna do a fireball here. And I was quiet there because I was thinking about how I don't think I did anything in the beginning to sort of sync up the audio.
Yeah.
So hopefully I get it accurate enough that it won't be annoying for you guys to watch. I do apologize for this. It frustrates me probably more than it would frustrate you guys. But it sucks. That was a really good fireball there. Did a lot of damage. And then that did a lot of damage too. We destroyed one of the earth blights. Which is great. We keep trying to do things with Adir, but you know, you do what you can. We mostly try to get like some sort of status effect on the blight, like hobbled or something.
What can I do you for?
I'm gonna heal up. And at this point with the blights, it's just it's kind of just a matter of time. It's just like they have so much health and so much defense that it takes a while to kill them. Which obviously isn't great.
At your service. This does not work.
There's something I can do.
Something I can do.
I hope nobody saw that.
I hope nobody saw it either. How can you miss a giant floating rock? We knock it back. And we miss a necrotic lance, which isn't great. The tentacles keep trying to do some damage. And they actually do some really good damage, considering. And mobilize it. And we learn of we're about to learn of an ability it has. Its pull ability.
Let's hire it out.
Which is a really interesting ability. I really like it. It's really cool. But we're about to kill, hopefully, this Greater Blight.
That dog won't hunt.
And nobody can kill it.
Something I can do.
Come on, Adir. So Classia kills it with a point-blank shot with her rifle. 560 experience from those, by the way. While I'm thinking about it, do you guys... Well, I know you guys probably know, but...
Yeah.
Can any of you tell me what the level cap is in this game? Is it the same as it was in Pillars 2? Which I believe... Or Pillars 1? Which I believe was 16. I think. Somewhere around there. I think it was 12 and then the DLCs added another 4 levels. If so, we're already halfway there, right? Which leads me to believe it's probably more than that. But then again, it doesn't look like there's like that many more abilities than there were in the first game. So it's possible we'll just start leveling up a lot slower. Which, you know, is what it is. I would prefer not to level up slowly.
What can I do you for?
What can you do? Alright, so she can do a little bit of damage, but I try and do like an in and out sort of thing there, and it didn't work. Like at all.
Oh?
And I think at this point I kind of realize I'm just gonna have to suck it up and slowly, methodically kill this thing. Even though we're in no real danger anymore. Luckily, Classia does quite a bit of damage with her rifle on these things. Seems like bludgeoning's the way to go on them.
You have my attention.
So I think I'm waiting for her to get healed or something? I don't know why I didn't send her back in there.
How may I help?
I think I was trying to bring it into Andra's whip, which I did do. Only 10 there because I got grazed. Yep. Another couple of points from Andra's whip, and now I'm gonna send Jyoti in. Nope, never mind. I'm just wasting time. I do hit the cave up there, the Grub Cave, and I thought maybe something would spawn if I hit it. Not the case. I think I'm gonna use Dancing Bolt now. Yeah.
Oh?
And then Allah is just gonna hit him with that. Here comes Dancing Bolt. There's 12 damage. It destroys the cave. You can see I moused over it real quick, afraid it might spawn something. But we've almost got it dead to right. Dead to rights? It's almost dead.
Yeah?
Unfortunately, it will not be a deer who gets the kill.
Behold me, mother.
Behold me, mother.
Oh?
Behold me, mother. Is he saying behold me, mother? Or behold me, mother?
That's not it.
Like he's from, is it called a Scouser?
Yours to command, Captain.
That's from, is that, hopefully that wasn't an offensive term. I don't actually know what I'm talking about. Somebody from Liverpool, right? They like to say, me instead of my. If it was offensive, I do apologize. I am ignorant. Alright, well, that's another combat encounter down. I'm feeling pretty good about ourselves at this point. We have had no casualties out of 3 fights in 1 episode.
Something I can do? Well, don't see why not.
I was having trouble looting that thing too, so I go over here to loot. And we get some black pearl and some grubs. Some grub guts. Find some tears.
Yeah?
And what's on this body? A Zata Nui shell. So then we go exploring up this way, going stealth. We find another little, I guess this isn't a camp, but just somebody trying to survive, I guess, on mushrooms. And we found some gunpowder and whatever that is, obsidian skull. I think right here I realize I can't go any further east, and we find a nice little pool there. Alright, and this takes us down and around. Find another little path here, and I was gonna bypass it, but then I realized it probably doesn't lead to anything since the end of the map is right there. And it doesn't, it leads to something I couldn't tell what it was here, but it is cliffs. Which I see right here. Cliff, oh no, never mind. It's the old city overlook. And never mind. Cliffs is, I think, the next thing I find? Maybe? The next passage?
Wait, look there.
Alright, we got some skull jacks up here. And personally, I think out of all the fights of this episode, this is my most tactically brilliant one. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I enjoyed doing it. So we start the fight here. And we've got, we've got a good amount of enemies there. We've got 5 skulljacks and 2 bats. So we move to Kehu up here to get the tsunami going. And I'm a little worried about where my position is, but I do it anyway, hoping that it will not be able to get the others out of the way in time. And luckily it looks like I will be able to. I move Jyoti away and have her strengthen everybody around her.
Yes?
I have Aloth summon some tentacles here to distract the enemy, and then I move Edir out. Everybody gets strong. This gets cast. Now it doesn't hit too well, but it does stun a lot of enemies. And I guess it did do quite a bit of damage if I look at the top right there. It's just not something I could see from my my vision. The fog of war hid it from me. But that means they can't all charge at once, which gives us time to sort of set up and create the lines that we need for what's coming. As these tentacles start to immobilize and do a little bit of damage, I give Fit to Edir here, making him stronger as he goes in to hold the front line.
How may I help?
And then Aloth, what do I do here? I hold off on doing a fireball and I just use a necrotic lance here. And then I get Andra's whip there so that I can push people into the tentacles if need be. And then I just have her fire. I Necrotic Lance does quite a bit of damage, and then Andra's Whip comes up. And then it's the Tentacle's turn again. And they do some decent damage on that Skulldrak. And now the full bulk of their forces can move forward, but now we're set up. So now they're just coming into a death trap, is my thought. So all the Skulldraks move up. Nice and in line for me. And I use this against them, and it knocks them down. I don't know if that's because the tentacles were there, or why. If it's just like a % chance. But now I can start hitting them with all the AoEs. They're right where I wanted them. She's going to consecrate the ground, and Alof's going to fireball. As they continuously try and take out the tentacles, but it's too late for them. They do a lot of good damage on Andra's Whip there. Here comes the fireball. Big damage there. Adir's gonna blind the Screecher. Excellent damage. Here comes Chill Fog. Does decent damage, not a lot, but decent. And then I come up and I try and get this in so I can hit everybody, but the range just isn't with me there, so I have to move it a little closer, which gets it out of range of the bats, but that's okay. There's Andra's Whip here. I go here because I don't want to push the other guy out of range on accident. And the tentacles are disappearing, but Shining Beacon is coming down. Good damage there with Shining Beacon. And then I think here I do a Blizzard. Yep. This is now Klesia's turn. She's going to do something. A Warding Seal right in the middle of them. Then Aloth is going to do another Fireball. And Jyoti is going to hit the Screamer. And now they're going to go, but they are pretty low on health at this moment, and he dies from the Shining Beacon damage. Here comes Fireball, which really is cutting through them. None of them have much health left. As Adir finishes that Skulldrak off. We've got that guy, but Blizzard takes out a bat. And then we've got Andra's Whip here. Whip it good. And then Warding Seal, which is kind of useless at the moment, unless the Skulldrak comes, but it doesn't look like it's actually going to have time to get over to us.
Yours to command, Captain.
Okay, who fires, does decent damage there. And it's in Jyoti after the cave bat and kills them. And then Aloth is going to use Magic Missile to hopefully finish this guy off, and it works. Yeah, so in my opinion, that's probably the best fight I've had in the game so far, on my end. I did, I think, pretty well there. Now, obviously they weren't the hardest enemies, but Skulldraks, they were a little higher than me, so, you know, I'll take the credit for it being a decent fight. Alright, so I go down here. I'm expecting us to find, like, Andra's temple, with the mural we're looking for. But unfortunately, it's some Sako. But unfortunately, I realized that that's not the case. And I'm a little confused here as I look around. I'm like, where am I supposed to go? It doesn't make sense. Where's the mural? So I look in here and I see there's a mural in the old city ruins depicting 2 conch shells. So I need to go to the old city ruins, which I do remember seeing the path there up here. Yep, the old city. The loading screens. All right.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
I'll see what I can find.
Alright, so we're looking up here. We see all the dead bodies. Never a comforting sign, but we saw those below before. No big deal. I come up here thinking, you know, I'm going to be able to deal with anything up here because the level, or the quest is my level. I walk around, I see a rabbit corpse eater. I'm like, okay, that's it? That's all you got? I can take those. It's like skull dracks. And then boom, I see those guys. Mad Harvester and a flesh monstrosity. And I nope out of there. Get the hell out of there. Whoever said left is always the way to go, never saw that in their way when they were there this level. So we try and go around a different way here. And we see a little item over here. Go check it out. A cape and some other things. I think those are Azanui shells or something. And I'm looking for my character level here. I wanted to see how much experience we'd gotten, and not that much. Considering all the fighting we'd done. Yeah. At this point I thought, you know, I was thinking, I thought fighting was the way to get experience quickly, but I think it's actually probably completing quests in this game. I don't remember if it was exactly the same in Pillars 1, but I know Pillars 1, you know, in this game, once the bestiary is updated on an enemy, there's nothing. So now we go after the shades. I did do a quick save right here because I'm scared. But we got some shades in here, and we also got a risen armsman up there in the top. But I go with a, you know, I start off with a warding seal right here, and I get Andra's whip right here to sort of keep them off of us on that side. Jyoti goes for a consecrated ground. Adir goes for an assault. Blind on the shade does well. So now we have some consecrated ground and some protection over there, which is good because the shade goes right in that direction. Aloth, instead of putting the tentacles down, which was my strategy up to this point, I decided let's go with a flame wall right on their front line, because I'm thinking they're all going to come, you know, down into Adir or the tentacle, which seems like it is the case. And then this guy teleports to the back, does massive damage, and I'm thinking this guy might kill us right here. And he almost does. If he did, you know, more damage on Klesia, like the first one did, it might have been bad. But we got the flame wall there, and it does some really good damage. I think right here we heal. Does 46 damage to the risen dude and shakes him. He's all shaken. We do a little heal and robust buff. I move Aloth out of the way, I think.
Of course.
Yeah. Doesn't take any damage. And then I try to use Bounding Missile here. So unfortunately the Risen Armsman is going right after Aloth. Don't really know what he's doing there, but walking through the flames also gave him a lot of damage, but that was a lot of damage on Aloth there. And it broke his concentration. Trying to heal him up, keep him in the match, and move Klesia in between everybody else. Unfortunately for us, the flame wall I think was a good idea, but they seem to just not care about the front line. If we could do the flame wall and the tentacles, that would have been great. Maybe in a future level. So we already got one shade almost dead, or shadow, I guess. Maybe that's why it was dying so quickly. The shadow's in front of Adir. We do good damage there with Aloth. I do that because I think he's going to die in the next round, which he does.
Yours to command, Captain.
And then I think I use, yeah, this, since it's only faux AoE. And Jyoti, what do I do with you? Yeah, we just go up and attack. Okay. So that guy's fixing to do something not cool. Klesia does a little heal. This guy burns to death, and so Adir can come down here and help out. He goes for the Risen Armsman, kills him. Moves in. Boiling Spray. Knocks back one of them, doing decent damage. But we have one shade that's looks like he's getting ready to cast Draining Freeze. Freeze.
oblige.
And I don't think we're going to be able to stop him in time. I think I move her back and I use Beacon. Yep.
Speak your mind.
And then Takehu is going to use this move because he's right in front of them. There you're going to use the freeze. Does a lot of damage.
Yeah?
They did a ton of damage there.
Can't make a dent.
Shining Beacon, and that does decent damage, 20 to each of them.
Oblige.
She's gonna heal. Klesia, at this point, we're just gonna fire, it looks like.
You need something.
Good old bullets over magic any day. Takehu, I get to safety and cast Chill Fog. That was a lot of damage on them. 16 and 12. You're gonna finish him, but I don't get through his penetration. Shade misses and then hits. Chill Fog comes in, blinds and flanks him, but doesn't do much damage.
Mother and Gotti.
Send a little missile at him, magic missile,
What can I do you for?
sort of thing. Wand missile.
Okay.
And at this point, victory is basically in our grasp. One shade down, one left,
Happy to oblige.
and we go for the kills.
At your service. For my captain. This does
Looks
not
like it's
work.
gonna get one more attack on us.
Yeah?
And now Edir's gonna hobble it and probably kill it. Not quite. But Jyoti will get the kill. And there we go. Shades and shadows are dead. So that was a, obviously that was our, I guess, potentially our worst fight
What
of
can I do you
the
for?
episode. But also I think we did some really nice things there. I think the flame wall was good. It just was unfortunate that, you know, they went past it with their teleports. Get some loot there. We see a nice staircase over there, but we ignore it for now. As we move further east, looking for the border. And I think right here we find it. And we start exploring around, seeing what we can see. We find a hatchet. And a whole bunch of blights. At this point, we were getting close to the episode, so I was like, I don't want to get into another fight. I do notice the little staircase thing there. And there's the cliff steps. So that's when I said, I think this is the cliffs. That's what I was saying. But yeah, we see these stairs and then these blights coming, so we retreat. And yeah, I think this is where I am ending this episode. In the next episode, we'll go explore the rest of the city. I'm guessing there's a Temple of Andra up those nice steps where the mural will be, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, I do apologize that you know, you had to suffer through post commentary. I prefer live commentary, but it happens. Hopefully it doesn't happen too often. But yeah, until the next episode, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you later.